Hello YouTube, this is Dazzathecameraman. Today is Sunday, July 2nd, 2017, and in light of my recent Hangout video discussing Nibiru, I thought I'd re-upload this previous video that I uploaded about HCT2014, just to illustrate the kind of, excuse my French, bullshit that is so easy to put out on YouTube and people will believe it, no matter how ridiculous it is. Michael, here is another story for your Someone's Bones website. I'd like to update you on my careful observations of the huge chocolate teapot which is behind the Sun and is heading this way. HCT2014, or the huge chocolate teapot, is right next to the Sun, as we can see here in Starry Night Pro. This is as we're looking towards the Sun. Now it's not right next to the Sun, it's actually well behind the Sun. It's if you look on the left hand side here, you can see the data, and we can see that it's 11 AU away from observer, so it's 11 AU, 11 astronomical units away from the Earth. It is currently just over 10 AU distance from the Sun, so it's actually out just past the orbit of Saturn, so 11 AU away from us. But you can see it's very difficult to see because it's right next to the Sun and it's sort of lost in the glare, so it's very difficult to image. But as it changes its position, as it approaches the Earth, it should get easier to image. Now I can provide images of the HCT 2014 and quotes from NASA insiders and people high up in the military who are well aware of HCT 2014, but I cannot divulge their names as they are risking their personal safety and that of their families by speaking out and leaking the information that they have. Several insiders and astronomers have already been murdered for speaking out about the huge chocolate teapot. Now HCT 2014 is, as I said, it's currently on the other side of the Sun, and it's in a high-speed synchronous orbit with the Earth, which allows it to keep up with the Earth's orbit around the Sun as it approaches. Now here we can see the position of the huge chocolate teapot in relation to the other planets. So we've got the orbit of Jupiter here and the orbit of Saturn here. So we can see that the huge chocolate teapot HCT 2014 is just outside the orbit of Saturn. The green orbit there is the Earth, and HCT 2014 is heading this way. And as you can see, this is at today's date, and once again it's showing just over 10 AU, 10 astronomical units away from the Sun. Now some of you will be familiar with this image here, and I've managed to get hold of an enhanced image that's been leaked to me. Again, I can't divulge where it's come from, but let's take a closer look at this image here, this one here. Now if I zoom right in, you can probably make out this is an infrared image here, and you can make out the shape of this thing. Let me go to the next image, it's a little bit clearer. Okay, this one here is a filtered image, so it's not color, but as I zoom in you can clearly see the shape of this object here. It's very distinctive, and as I say, it is heading this way. Now this object has been seen from Newmar Station. This image was released on the Newmar Station webcam, and it was subsequently removed, but fortunately somebody grabbed this image and sent it to me before it was removed. Now these guys are clearly looking at something is rather startling in the sky, and I can show you what it was. It was this object here. Now obviously from the South Pole they have a clear view to this thing, even though it's next to the Sun. I'm not really sure how that works, but from the South Pole they have a much clearer view of it, and you can clearly see it there. And you can see this thing is huge. Well, it's the huge chocolate teapot. That's why they call it the huge chocolate teapot. And here's another image of it from Newmar Station, and it seems to be getting closer. It's certainly getting closer. And this is probably the best image that I've seen so far from Newmar Station. Now the astronomer that leaked these is, sadly, he's dead now, so I have to be very careful about releasing these images on YouTube, as you can imagine, because I don't want to be dead, you know. Now this was a deep space image of the HCT2014, and it is even clearer, obviously, because we're not looking through all the atmosphere that we're looking through at the South Pole there. This was actually taken from the Hubble Space Telescope, and again, it was leaked by an astronomer who is now sadly not with us anymore. There have been many astronomers who have lost their lives trying to yes, let's just not talk about that, it just upsets me too much. I've lost too many good friends over this. I'm sorry. Now, as you can understand, looking at this thing, this is very difficult to image from Earth-based cameras because it doesn't reflect much light. Reason being, of course, it's dark chocolate, so it reflects very little visible light in the blackness of space, unlike white chocolate, huge chocolate teapots, which of course are very easy to see in visible light and can even be imaged with cheap phone cameras, even when it's next to the sun. Now, dark chocolate, huge chocolate teapots, HCTs, can only be imaged in infrared and only from well below the ecliptic. But from my location here in New Zealand, I can see all the way below the ecliptic to the south ecliptic pole, so I can image it with my infrared camera and telescope from my secret observatory. Now here we have a comparison chart showing the size of the HCT, huge chocolate teapot, compared to the Sun, compared to a low mass star in the background, compared to a brown dwarf, and compared to Jupiter, and finally the Earth. So you can see that this thing is really huge, you know. That's why they call it the huge chocolate teapot, because it's huge. It's larger than a brown dwarf, so you can imagine the mass of this thing. Now what can I tell you about the mass? Well, obviously it's cocoa mass. It's a chocolate teapot. It's cocoa mass. And here is the orbit diagram as well. You can see that this thing is approaching it, it's coming into the solar system, and it's on quite a steep orbit as it comes in. Now when the HCT2014 comes in and approaches perigee, that's the closest point to the Earth, so the Earth is down here. So as it approaches, frequency harmonics will cause an interaction with all chocolate on Earth, causing instant vaporization of the chocolate that is within the Earth's atmosphere. This vaporization will cause intense heat, which will in turn affect the climate and cause extreme weather. I believe it will also cause a chocolate pole shift, and all surviving chocolate will change from dark chocolate to white chocolate, and white chocolate to dark chocolate. This is a serious threat to all chocolate consumers on Earth, and I'm sure you can appreciate the devastation it will cause for people who prefer dark chocolate to white chocolate, or white chocolate to dark chocolate, when they find that their chocolate is suddenly reversed. People who have consumed chocolate within 24 hours of perigee will be in extreme danger, because if the chocolate they have consumed is still in their stomachs when this vaporization occurs, they will suffer severe internal burns to their internal organs and they will not survive. But there's some good news. You can protect your chocolate by storing it in one of my specially designed Faraday cages, so it will not be affected by the harmonic frequencies of the HCT. This will prevent your chocolate from either vaporizing or reversing, so please contact me for further details if you wish to purchase one of my HCT Faraday cages. So there we have it, guys. That's the latest information on the huge chocolate teapot, guys. It's coming up from behind the sun, and it'll be here soon, guys. Now just remember what I said. Just make sure you don't eat any chocolate within 24 hours of perigee, or you know what's going to happen. Now so far no one has attempted or been able to disprove the existence of the huge chocolate teapot, except a few disinfo trolls who have tried to discredit me. But they are paid government disinformation shills and should not be trusted. I recommend that you block all such trolls, as they are working for the powers that be and will monitor your posts if you don't block them. Now I've provided you with proof of the existence of the huge chocolate teapot. We can see the data here in Starry Night, so clearly it exists. If it's in Starry Night, then obviously it's a real object. I will be bringing you some more images of the huge chocolate teapot HCT2014, so be sure to stay tuned. As always, do check out my Facebook discussion page, Voices of Reason to Explain X, VORTEX. You'll find a link in the description area. And if you want to follow the updates on the huge chocolate teapot, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.